this is coping mechanisms. I think sometimes in church and in general, I think people over spiritualize things, and everyone kind of sees everything as a sign of something greater, or like a conversation from God sometimes, and that can be dangerous. Um, God normally tells you stuff, and it's confirmed through an outside source, or through like conversation with him, or through other people of something he's already told you. Um, there's a lot of people that do like that whole God told me this, or like YouTube does this a lot. It'll be like, this message is for you, and then it'll have dates sometimes, or it'll be like, your breakthrough, your marriage, your kingdom spouse, and you have to ask God about those things. You don't just grab something and just start like being like, yeah, this is God. Like, you have to talk to God and ask for confirmation about stuff. It's not just like click a video and then that's your life, or you hear something from somebody and then that's your life, or you see a YouTube video and it had like these numbers in it, so that means this or that the other. Yes, God does use strong concordances and he does use other people, but it's really about confirmation. Like, if someone tells me something, but God has been telling me all these other things, and then the thing that someone tells me is contrary to what God told me, I'm gonna not believe that person. Because God didn't say that, and that's not God's character. Like, um, there's just, I remember different times in my life, like, I would tell my family stuff, or I would have dreams about things, and I would tell people, and they would just be like, "Well, how'd he do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Like, God just tells stuff, and sometimes you also, when you do have confirmation, sometimes you don't have to share everything, because half the time people don't believe you anyway. So it's literally a conversation between you and God. If God gave you a promise, believe God's promise and keep it between you and God, because that's who the conversation is with. If you do have a trusted source and that source can believe you and you can talk about it with them, then great. That's absolutely perfect. But just getting confirmation through Christ, praying about it quietly, and then seeking confirmation, and then using specifics for your confirmations helps you get confirmation from God. And just don't random doom scroll on YouTube for videos and just expect that as an answer, because there's a lot of people on YouTube that are not working with Christ, and there's a lot of information that is not confirmed, and it's not accurate, or it's not right now. And if you notice, a lot of people that are working with Christ are actually saying the same things, but a lot of them are saying them differently because they're different people, but it's the same messages. So, as well as I've noticed that a lot of times when God is like, God never changes, right? Like, his process doesn't change. He, as a person, well, as a God, as God, doesn't change, and his character doesn't change. He, as like a lot of people like to say, he's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Um, and you have to know God's character to be able to know when it's God and when it's not. Like, God probably wouldn't tell you to, well, God would not tell you to fornicate. God would not tell you that, somebody's husband is your husband or wife, or that, I don't know, you should eat a whole pie because it's delicious. Those are all things that aren't really promoting to God like Jesus. Like that's not his character, you know, because you're taking care of your vessel, and then you're like walking in purity unless you're married. Like those are all like blinking red flags to be like, okay, that's not Jesus. Maybe I should take a step back and configure with my thoughts, um, and just figure out what that was. Because sometimes you have to do that. And just just kind of look at what you're hearing and seeing and are around to know if that's God or not. As well as not over spiritualizing everything. Because a lot of people do that. Like they'll be like, my rent is paid. He blinked at me. He's my spiritual spouse. No, he might have a twitch. I have a twitch sometimes. I'm also married, so I I'm already taken. Like you know what I mean? Like some of these things are not what people think they are. Like just because I said, "Hey, um I really like your outfit," or "you're a really kind person," that doesn't mean that people are in love with you. Like I'm just using this as an example, but cuz that's stuff you have to deal with, you know? Or um because they gave you extra fries. Like I saw a video where this lady was like, the guy gave me extra fries in my bag at a fast food place, and she was like, he loves me. Maybe he just messed up the order. He probably he probably don't love you. Like I was reading a fictional book, and I was like, this book is so bad because like fiction, like it wasn't even a romance book, but it's like the way people are written in fiction that are like supposed to be romantic or supposed to be like wow, like enlightening, is delusional. And what I'm trying to say is over spiritualizing and then making scenarios out of stuff that is honestly could just be negated by a logical explanation of like maybe that's an accident, or if a person's mean to me, maybe they just had a bad day, you know. Not everything is as personal, and not everything that you think is personal is always from God. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But you gotta pray about it, and you gotta ask for confirmation about it so that you can have clarity, and then you won't be led astray into something you weren't really supposed to be doing, and then having a situation where you gotta have therapy about the therapy that you needed therapy for. So God bless you, God keep you, God be with you, and just ask for confirmation, pray about it, and just take a step back if you're unsure, and ask God about what you're unsure about, and be vulnerable and honest about it. Even if you think it sounds like dumb, just be honest, because nothing's dumb. Everything has a reason, and everything has a purpose. And what you think is trivial, a lot of times is very important. So